Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Pyre. We sneaked by with a narrow victory, and well, we're looking to keep on going in our Pyre adventures, and the rites are just gonna get more challenging, I'm sure, as we go on. Let's see, so we have the Lone Minstrel here. Greetings, reader. It is good that you are here, for there's something that I wish to tell you privately. Do you have a moment? I shall not keep you long, though I know your time is precious. The Lone Minstrel wishes to tell you something of the rites.
Okay. Oh, of course we're gonna hear him out.
You bid him to continue, and make clear your interest in whatever he has to say. Very well, and thank you for your time. And I should further note, matters that pertain directly to the rites I must reveal to you alone, for thus I am obliged. In any case, when you confronted the Withdrawn and the witch Udmimle, you might recall she tended to invoke a certain name. Yislash, the Astral Born. I hesitate to say it even now. You would be forgiven if you took the ravings of Udmilde for mere nonsense. However, her words, as it turns out, ring with a certain truth. Before the union of the 8 scribes, when first they found themselves here in the downside, this land was even less hospitable, if that can be believed. It was ruled over by the greater titans, colossal monsters that once roamed the downside. Scribes together slew them one by one, through this forged their bonds. The one called Yislash was the eldest and most fearsome of the lot. Yislash is a monstrosity described in myths and ballads, thought slain by the 8 scribes. Okay, I think we've read that before. Just the same, the scribes managed to defeat it. They later used Yislash's own hide and ichor to bind the Book of Rites. Also, not 100% sure how to say that word. Can't say it's in my usual lexicon all that much. However, Yislash did not truly die, for by some accounts, it seems to be incapable of death. The creature is regenerating even now, though very, very slowly. Its vow is to devour this land and everything in it. Only then can it return onto what plane that banished it to ours. So in a way, it is an exile, just like you. If ever should the creature be reborn, it should be many ages hence. Thus, the ravings of Udmilde are more or less inconsequential for the while. Yet, the history of Yislash is inexorably linked to the rites, therefore must be known. I trust your research of the book shall lead you to discover more in time. I hope all this is some reassurance. And now, I leave you with more immediate concerns. I shall go check to see how everyone is faring at this time. He heads out into the evening, bidding you a good rest of the evening. Let's see. Looks like we're done in here. And it's time to continue. Let's be on our way. Right, so we're headed into these inhospitable seas, but in order to get there, we need a boat, or some other type of vessel, I think. And the minstrel was saying going to Big Bertrude's might be a way in which to get it. So a small bog-dweller outpost at the end of the sea. The Lone Minstrel says someone here can help you pursue the stars across the sea. This is the place. Let us go see to my client's companion as soon as you are ready. Well, I mean, we could seek Big Bertrude, but apparently there's more to say here with our friends. Alright, Rookie. You find Rookie rummaging in the corner of the black wagon. Hey, chum! You know what? It's good having somebody else around besides those two. So, come to think of it, there's something I wanted to get your take on, and you have to promise not to tell me. Or promise to tell me, honestly. would you say... what I mean is, He hesitates, trying to find the words. Right. Look, what I'm trying to say is, you sense something serious is troubling you. He moves very close, making sure no one else is in earshot. It's about my mustache. I've been getting some conflicting reports about it. Would you say my mustache, that it makes me look a bit, you know, unscrupulous? Rookie wishes to know if you think his mustache suits him. I mean, certainly, right? I mean, you can't knock the curly mustache like that. Is it a handlebar? I don't know if you would necessarily call it that, but I think it goes along with the whole aesthetic that he's rocking, his style. We could say it looks perfectly fine. It is very handsome, and if anything, it gives him a distinguished sort of look. My guess is that's the answer that he would like to hear from us. Say he might be better off without it. Something about it makes him appear less trustworthy and perhaps less youthful too. Or we could say nothing. Nah, we're saying it looks perfectly fine. You suggest that Rookie's mustache looks perfectly fine. He grins wide at you. Couldn't agree more, chum. I knew straight away that you'd be a real judge of character. Anyway, gotta check the wheels again for mites. See you around. He bounds off, out the wagon. Rookie gained +1 hope for the next right. Yeah, so kind of the opposite of what we saw with our conversation with Joe Dariel in the previous, before the previous right, in which we got -1 hope after saying that she's a little scary. Alright, so Big Bertrude. Big Bertrude is a sickly gathering of bog dwellers who stay within shadows, yet you can feel their eyes surveying everything. The lone minstrel steps forward. Okay, yeah, and I think we've read this before, but it's a small bog dweller outpost at the end of the sea. All sorts of contraband used to come through here, some of it fatal if touched or inhaled. Okay, so maybe we need to be a little careful. Sandalwood sent us. Just again, the person whose name keeps on coming up that had some affiliation with this group of people, in particular the minstrel. Those words are enough to make the bog dwellers snap to attention. They emerge from the mud and dark and begin inspecting your black wagon with their strange tools. One of the bog dwellers slithers forth. She's larger than the rest and leaves no doubt that she commands the others. Thou speakest the name Sandalwood. We would know his whereabouts. Reveal them to us. Good gate to you, Big Bertrude. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, for Sandalwood always spoke highly of you, and your handiwork. She is a bog dweller once feared and respected in the Commonwealth for her sorceress work. He did he? In turn, we know who thou must be. Yet, thou speakst of the past. Sandalwood, doth he yet live? Speak plain, and quickly. To be quite frank with you, madame, I do not know for certain, for I have been apart from him for some time, carrying out his will. His will? Okay. Well, maybe I'm getting caught up in a pun here, but is that a will like he's dead and left a message for the minstrel, or left a message with instructions for the minstrel to carry out? Or his will as in just what he wants the minstrel to do and he's still living? I don't know. Though I have every faith that Sandalwood lives. I mean, presumably that means that he is in fact alive. That is a nasty pun in that case. I'm not sure if that was intentional or what. As for his current whereabouts, I understand that he awaits us somewhere near Walkingwood, beyond the waters. Walkingwood, labyrinth of a forest on the western half of Black Basin. You know their way around it. The path to the sacred Mount Elodiel lies far beyond these suffocating woods. We wish to seek him there, though as you can see, our wagon is ill-suited for the task. The one called Bertrude frowns at this, studying the lone minstrel all the while. Indeed, then, leave us. Return at dawn. That is all. By your grace, big Bertrude. The lone minstrel turns away, but Hedwyn stops him. Hold on. Are you sure about this? Leaving the wagon in their care? All should be in accordance with my client's plan. You keep calling Sandalwood your clients. He must reward you well. Aye. In a manner of speaking, he helped me find a sense of purpose I thought that I'd lost. Hedwyn nods at this and turns to you. Well, my friend, I guess we'll see what happens, right? I'm off to let the others know. I don't know. I mean, Hedwyn, I'm kind of with you here. That is an awfully big risk to just hand over our cart that seems to be our most important asset, maybe besides the book of rights, and send it off to some strangers who seem a little, not so nice. You find yourself with time for your vocation, while the bog dwellers go about their business. Ah, okay, it's been a little while since we last had the chance to do some of this, so remind me. We can forage for resources and search for valuables to add to our stash of goods. We now have a better sense as to what the potential benefits of doing that might be, and that it generally means that we can purchase some of those consumables that we've been starting to stockpile, but also talismans, and we've been eyeing some of the more expensive ones. Otherwise, we can study in private, hone our skills as a reader, and grant small global bonuses to our fellow exiles during the rites, so small bonuses that affect everyone. Or alternatively, we can specifically target one companion and raise their individual ranks, or their individual, rank in the rites more quickly. So if we want to target someone who maybe we are not I guess we could go in either direction. We could say, hey, we really like playing as this character and we want to make them even better, or maybe there are some characters that we feel don't have fantastic statistics, don't perform that well in the rites, and so we need to boost them up specifically in order to get them up to par with everyone else. I think at this stage, I'm still inclined to improve everyone across the board. So I don't want to play favorites too much just yet. You excuse yourself from the others to go pore over the Book of Rites and its mysteries. Through a greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Okay, so focus on which aspect of the Book of Rites. So we can get +1 hope, +1 quickness, or +1 power, or +1 presence, I should say. So presence is the size of aura, quickness is just how fast they run, and hope is how quickly they come back from being banished. And I think, this shouldn't come as any surprise to you. Improving everyone's quickness, I'm all about it. The 8 scribes who composed the book, their influence and their experience spreads through the pages, into the willing reader's deepest consciousness. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. You gained the reader's influence, and we gained... Okay, +2 quickness, but we had +1 already, so this is an additional +1 quickness for a total of 2. So the same bonus that we got last time. Let us continue. And hope that they didn't run away with our wagon. The lone minstrel finds you early the next day. Reader, it is ready. Please, come have a look. The others are already there. The lone minstrel beckons you to come see the wagon. Let's step inside. What was that low, rumbling, ominous sound? The black wagon appears different now than it had been even the day before. The hull is fully sealed and reinforced, and all manner of nautical equipment adorns the port inside. Wow. You people seeing this? I'm gonna have a look around. The wagon should be fit for a sea voyage. Let us depart at your earliest convenience. What about Big Bertrude? She then appears, as if on cue. Tell that Sandalwood, he owes us twice over. If I may, Big Bertrude, You could tell him yourself, if you wish to accompany us on this voyage, on our voyage north. Our group would welcome someone of your vast experience. Dare thee make flirtations upon us? No, Enough. But should ye see that Sandalwood, tell him also to come and visit us again. Now be gone from here, and tell no one that we were paid in favors. She slithers off without another word. Soon, the lone minstrel breaks his silence. Interesting, so we almost brought her in with us, but she rejected us. We are fortunate that she assisted us. We should go, just as she said. I know the navigational controls and shall explain. This is so exciting! I don't know how to swim! Is that exciting or concerning? I feel like you might be confusing the two. Scream! Tizo seems to share Tay's enthusiasm for heading out to sea. I am beginning to feel ill already. Uh-oh, Jody may be getting seasick here. Your black wagon became seaworthy. The Sea of Solace awaits, and we saw this before, that it is a not-so-great place that, people usually, when they sail across, well, they don't turn out so well. Or their missions, at least, don't. Whoa! It's a windy little trail we have here. It seemed like we had more people we were able to talk to back there, but I didn't see any options to speak to anyone. I just saw the little sparkles next to the picture of the wagon in the bottom left corner. Whoa! Yup. Wagon certainly looks quite different now. You and your companions watch the sea as your wagon rolls over the gentle waves. We've crossed into Worm Gulf. I hope that all of you are acclimating well. The tempestuous Sea of Solace lies beyond this death-still body of water. Exiled worms from the sea dominion naturally congregate around here. Worm, spelled like that, usually means dragon, so, yikes. There's no acclimating to these worm-infested waters. We risk everything to sail here. Or sea monsters, maybe? As long as we follow the cold current Big Bertrude indicated, we shall be safe. If the next right is in the middle of this sea, how will our adversaries meet us there? They shall find their way, as we find ours. It is all part of the scribe's design. Now, reader, please confirm the next point on our sea journey. We seek the Hulk of Orbs. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. Okay. Wait a second. We haven't looked up into the sky yet, have we? Like, how do you know that? I don't know. Or maybe we did already? No, I think we did, come to think of it. Okay. It's a little while ago, in the previous episode, but let's see. Outer Solace. Fetid waters off the coast of Flagging Hands. Bertrude's instructions are to navigate the maze of maws in a curving route bearing northeast. I was gonna say, that looked northwest to me, but we are headed northeast. I suppose that's where all the twisting and turning comes in, though. I was curious. I mean, I wonder if maybe there's still a chance that Big Bertrude might join us later on. I don't know. There's a chance that this is the most people we'll ever get in our group. Or maybe we will continue to pick up more companions. But anyways, the wagon continues rolling gently across the waves, which seemed to you a welcome change of pace after having come from Flagging Hands not very long ago. However, Jodariel seems more concerned now than before, and paces ceaselessly. When she notices Ruki, she stops him for some questioning. Greentail, how is he doing? Who? Headwind? Oh, he's pretty much the same. Been up all night, retching into the waters if I had to guess. His first time out at sea? His first. She turns to you. Reader, please check on Headwind when you have the opportunity. He requires our support, and we require his swift recovery. You wish them a good afternoon as you go check up on the others in the group. I was thinking that it was going to be Jodariel. I almost said Jody. No, Jodariel. In case she doesn't like that nickname, although it seems like she accepts it. But apparently it's Headwind. Later, you find Headwind looking out of sorts. Hello, my friend. It's just, the sea hasn't been good for me, I guess. It's funny, all this trouble, just to get back to the Commonwealth, of all places. Hey, tell me something. What do you miss the most about that place? Edwin wants to know what you miss about your past life. Your book collection? Sure, it was highly illegal, though just the same, you miss having had access to those volumes. The few friends you had, your life was almost always difficult, but several of your longtime confidants did help you to get by. Perhaps with food, your mouth waters at the thought of it, at least compared to what passes for sustenance here, or nothing. Well, it's definitely not saying nothing. I think let's go with the book collection. Kind of go all in on the whole, yeah, we knew it was illegal, and we were honest about that before, but we embraced it. You tell him that you miss your book collection most of all, after having taken many pains and risks to put it together. Ha! I figured as much. I bet they burned all of your books, didn't they? Those scum. Anyway, I'll be fine. I think. Thank you for checking up on me. You sense he wishes to be alone. There's not much to be done for him now. Yeah. It appears Hedwin is too ill to conduct the next rite. Okay, that is to be expected. I'm sorry for my interruption, Peter. Please again confirm the next point on our voyage. Okay. So I guess we're going into the proper Sea of Solace, as opposed to just then we were on the outskirts of it. So you have not yet been to this region of the downside, but according to Bertrude, the celestial landmark you seek is beyond this strait. Sea of Solace. By the scribes! The sea! I didn't know it was so beautiful. Having escaped the waters of Worm Gulf, you now can see what must be the hulk of oars far on the horizon. Did we get more information about it? No, just that it's... Did we get that latter part? A carcass of the doomed exploring vessel Dazraban? Lost in the waters of the downside. Not everyone has taken well to the sea voyage, however. Uh-oh. Is this just Hedwin, or are we about to lose someone else too? Tizo is wondering if Hedwin is feeling better. I mean, okay, at least it's just him. He requires further rest, Tizo. All we can do is to wish him a swift recovery. Reader, sir? From this point, our voyage must diverge from Bertrude's instructions. Please consult with your companions about which course to take. Okay, so we can go the Underking Pass or the Fathomless Trench. The Underking Pass, the north current toward the hulk of oars, runs as quick as Underking Oars himself. Kay believes that the 8th scribe shall bless you here. Okay. We can go to the Fathomless Trench. The south current toward the hulk of oars teems with fish and other sea life. Izo wants to fish for something tasty here. Okay, so reading between the lines a little bit here, I think that what happens is whichever ally you side with is the one that gets an additional inspiration boost on your next rite, and therefore gains more experience. So we can play favorites a little bit in that way, but in terms of what the rewards will be, it looks like if we're going to get blessed, then I think we might get our characters to power up if we go in this direction, Whereas my guess is if we go down to the bottom with the fish, then we might get an item of value that we could sell at a slug market. And I think I'm more interested in getting the bonuses. However, do we have a preference of leveling up Tay versus leveling up Tizo? Tay is a little more conventional with her style in the rights, whereas Tizo is very much a wild card in that he has a lot of unique skills that fundamentally change your approach for the rights, and we've only used him once thus far. We haven't had much of a chance to put those skills to the test. Yeah, let's go here. I think you can make the case either way. I prefer the skill points, or rather, I prefer the bonuses that I'm anticipating we might guess. But maybe we would prefer getting additional experience on Tizo instead of Tay, so it kind of balances out there. You find Tay gazing down into the depths. The water is so very beautiful, and yet it's very dangerous. They always said it's very dangerous, and if you fall in or drink enough of it. But the scribes, they've protected us. They are watching. I just know. Even out here, in the waters of Underking Ores, they urge us on. I feel it. I just know. Underking Ores, 7th of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rights, known as the Preservering, or Sea Sojourner. The legendary leader of the Worm's undersea crusades sought to reach the edge of the abyss. There is no denying that the North Current sends you quickly on your way. Perhaps it is the thought of reaching land again, but you can sense a spring in everybody's step. Your companions gain +2 quickness for the next rite. Okay, so, I mean, that sounds fantastic. At least for this upcoming rite, I mean, no mystery. I've made it very well known that quickness is very high on my list in terms of priorities. Although, one potential downside I see of that is that it's only for this upcoming rite, whereas if we were to have gone the lower route and maybe find something of value that we could sell to a trader, then we might have been able to purchase a nice talisman, and that's more of a permanent upgrade. So, a little bit more of a short-term gain rather than a long-term gain, which is maybe not the best, but certainly, at least for this rite, it's going to be a nice boost. So at last you arrive at the Hulk of Ores, after journeying across the sea. It seems the next rite is to commence here soon, though there's no sign of your next adversaries yet. Okay, so we have people we can talk to, we have a new page in the Book of Rights, and we have the Slug Mart. Let's talk to our friends first. Alright, so we have Jody. She seems to have something on her mind. Reader, a moment of your time. You ask what is on her mind. Edwin. He's beginning to recover from his illness. However, its sudden onset serves as a reminder, I believe. I have known Edwin since he was a child. Even now, I hesitate to say that he has grown. Nevertheless, there are such things that even I would never say to him directly. For instance, I struggle with his confidence at times. Whether he leads us to our freedom or our doom, I am ambivalent. You're ambivalent? You don't care if we succeed or fail? And you struggle with his confidence? What? Speak not a word of this to him, of course, in case that is unclear. I shall tell him in my own way, if and when the time requires. In any case, when times remind me of his mortal weaknesses, I end up having to consider what should happen should we become separated permanently. Trails off for a while. You mean if one of you should be free and the other one not be free, or one of you kicks the can? What I mean to say is, you should know that I am fully pledged now to this quest of ours. Whether Hedwyn is the one to lead us to its end or not. I have my reasons. One of them is him. I expect the same holds true for you. So Jodariel is kind of looking out for Hedwyn like a guardian, sounds like she's been doing that ever since he was a child. Not sure if there's something else there, though. That is all I wish to say. Take care, Peter. She nods and brushes past you toward the door. Okay, so remember, we can use the Beyonder Crystal to either do practice rites or do other, what were they called, scribe trials, to give us character-specific talismans, which might be worth looking into to see if there might be any more of those. Let's see what else we have here, because I guess it's been a little while since we looked at everything in our wagon. So, silver cudgel head, a limnus, cold-blooded creature rescued from the sea. It is fully grown and has led a rich life. Okay. Oh, what is... Okay. There was something sparkling over there. Not sure what the significance of it was. Then there's this, the nautical bell. Among the Black Wagon's seafaring equipment, Hedwin uses it to signal when food is ready. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, the book, of course. Down the river. In the words of Golgothanian, the Master General, the Emperor Solium Muir knew not of this, of course. His expedition yielded not the treasure he desired, but brought him closer to his country than he had ever been before. Closer to his country than he wasn't in his... Okay. As he traveled down the river Sklorian in pursuit of greed, found instead an inkling of shame. He saw the sunken faces of his people, heard their words for him. In time, he could not ignore it. It proved more than he could bear. The river finally claimed him, his belongings, and his retinue. Once the people heard, I understood, they cried with joy. Perhaps he ought to have perished. But the mercy shown to him, I think, is what transformed him. Okay. I want to see... Hello. You bring me brief reprieve from my solitude. What seek you in exchange? Oh, I wanted to see if we had any scribe trials that we could do. Otherwise, I mean, we could ask her what's on her mind. Not sure if it'll be any different. There is an undulation I have sensed, reader. Which means, I think, that your black wagon sails the seas. Am I not right? Of course I am. She laughs at this, or at herself, perhaps. I scarce remember the sea. It has been a little while since I bathed in it, you understand? My memories of it are wistful, nonetheless. Although, if I remember correctly, the Sea of Solith is a disgusting mockery of the Emerald Seas near the Empire. The Empire of Sar dominated the known world for millennia, till the doomed reign of Solium Muir. Never shall we make the wicked errors of our predecessors. Solium Muir is one of the guys that we've been reading a lot about in the Book of Rites. Do be careful out there, will you? Now, let me cease my prattling, lest I extend my sentence by another such eternity or two. We had best stick to business. Okay, we're okay not doing a practice right at the moment. Until our next appointment. I think that's everything in here. Let's head out. Let's hit the slug market. See if there's anything new that we ought to pick up. Oh, hey, you guys. Funny running into you out here, right in the middle of the drink. You know what I mean? Not a lot of customers today, so have a look. I'll give you a good deal. I'm actually not sure if his prices change. It does seem like less. That's the same as it was before. Yeah. I think the prices are constant. Okay, so we have Pinch of Stardust. Let's pick this up. We're stockpiling these. And then Thorned Knot. When aura casting, raises the bearer's maximum range 8%. Oh, it is a talisman. Okay, it's not a consumable. I don't like this thing. So, like, your attack. Aura casting is your attack. Raises the bearer's maximum range by 8%. That is interesting. It's inexpensive. It seems like, generally speaking, whenever we get a new talisman to show up, it doesn't go away in the next time we see the slugworm trader. So, or slug market trader? It's like last time we saw the scribe rock for the first time, but that's still here. Okay, and for that reason, I think it's okay for us to stockpile our coins until we can finally afford this thing, or maybe we see other things that come up that could be interesting. So, be seeing you guys? I did do a little bit of business with you, I suppose. Just not a ton. Having landed at the Hulk of Oars, you and your fellow exiles now anticipate the hour that the rites are to commence again. What do you think, Tizo? Don't I look just like Mr. Headwind? Tizo is worried that Headwind is still feeling unwell. Wait, you think? What's that? A serpentine creature emerges from the water, followed by several others of its kind. You recognize it as a worm of the Sea Dominion. The worm are exiled worms of the Sea Dominion that tend to seek out the cold of the downside seas. Known for being reckless and single-minded, they were perfectly suited to fill the Commonwealth's front lines. You say, reckless and single-minded. I wonder if that might tell us a little bit about what to expect in the right. On the assumption that these are probably the guys that we're about to go up against. What they are all doing here, you see plain by their ritual raiments. The nearest one somehow loosens its mask. Yeah, doesn't look like you have any hands there, so I don't know how you're doing. Whoa! Good sirs, and good ladies. So it is that you heed the summons to glorious competition against the knight and his brigade. Well then, let us do battle now without delay. More than our freedom is at stake here, but our very honor. And this knight fully intends to reclaim his. Oh, I skipped that one. My bad. I accidentally pressed the spacebar there, but he is called Sir Gilman. He salutes you all on behalf of the Pyre Hearts. Until the contest. He splashes out of view just as the stars above begin to shimmer with strange light. Yeah, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the spacebar. But anyways, yeah, so reckless and single-minded. Maybe that's a harbinger of what to expect on this one, in which case, sounds kind of similar to maybe not as much what we did last time, but maybe more so when we fought the Curs.
Not to underestimate your adversaries here, despite their pitiable look. I am, of course, referring to the Pyre Hearts. These rites are but another war to them, and that makes you their mortal enemy.
Ooh, okay, looks like we have some obstacles. Your fellow exiles are gathered on the rotting deck of the Hulk of Oars. As your adversaries clamber into view, Ruki paws up to them. Say, what are you worms even doing here? Can't you just swim back to the Commonwealth, or the Sea Dominion, or wherever it is you're from? Sea Dominion is a vast and war-torn undersea regime, home to untold members of amphibious worms. Having conquered their waters, the worms clambered onto the Commonwealth's shores in search of new worlds. They're very hostile, warring. Aha! An excellent point! It seems that these adversaries in the rites are clever, wouldn't you say, sire? Just get rid of them already, Gilman. As your commanding officer, this knight hereby commands it. But this knight wishes to introduce his noble commander. No worm knight in history has withstood as many front-line battles. Doff your helm, sire, as is our custom. May our adversaries tremble at the sight of you. Sir Gilman attends to his commander's mask, despite his protests. Whoa. Wait! Give this knight his mask! This knight hereby presents to you the great Sir Deluge. A noble visage, is it not? He is a petty worm knight of the Sea Dominion, who somehow survived countless battles. Sir Deluge trembles and squirms. So, yes, you can swim, or no? Ha! Of course we knights can swim! All knights of the Sea Dominion can! But we are exiles in this land, the same as ye. We can swim, 'tis true, but 'tis summarily impossible to swim back up the river, down which we were flushed to end up here. Nay, there is but one way to return. Silence, Gilman! Nobody cares! Back to your post! Sir Gilman hesitates, but does as he's told. This knight knows who you are, Nightwings. He's not afraid of you. He somehow climbs back into his mask and coils up to his full height. Now, on guard! The exiles of the Worm Triumvirate take their positions as you focus on the Book of Rites. Alright, they look little and presumably quick, which means probably very similar in strategy to what we use, and potentially similar to what the Curs did and when they beat us. So, we gotta be careful here. Otherwise, we might be in for history repeating itself. Alright, Jodario says, Reader, Hedwyn's illness means he cannot help us here. He shall be counting on us.
Now, let us begin.
Okay, so Jodariel does have some inspiration. They gain enlightenment twice as quickly when they have inspiration. Okay, do we have anyone else? With Tizo with inspiration. Huh, not sure what we did to give him inspiration. Okay, I do like the Tizo plus Jodariel combination. It seems like they're a natural pairing where Tizo can help increase the mobility of other people in our group. So let's do that.
Tizo.
But I also am wondering who we ought to choose as our last person. I mean, Ruki is probably going to be... I mean... he's my favorite to use in the rights, at least offensively. So I'm tempted. And you know what? If this is going to be anything like the right that we lost, we didn't have access to Ruki at that point in time, because he was out for that one. So I think that might be a key, is to have him in. That would be very helpful. I mean, Tay is similar. Oh, and we have the quickness boost. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, I think
Decide.
Ruki
Ruki.
and Jodari.
Jodariel. Now.
Let us make short work of this lot. Gilman! Status report. What is the enemy's position? They now stand ready to confront us, sire. A very brave triumvirate they seem to this night's eye. Brave? Air-sucking monsters, one and all? Pyre hearts, be ready! Pyre hearts, I guess we didn't read this before. A triumvirate of worm knights who perceive the rites as great battles to be won. Alright, let's do it.
Now begin. Banished.
Run for it!
Banishment. Your adversary's Pyre is
That was
the first to falter.
nice. Oh. Okay, so they're jumpers by the looks of things. There we go.
Sublime.
Not bad. They are seemingly much easier to... Whoa! I was gonna say easier to take out, but maybe not. Because if they dive underwater like that, or under the surface, I suppose, then we could be in trouble. Uh-oh.
Shame.
Nope. I, for some reason, thought that Jodariel standing there would be enough. Gilman! Your form is sloppy. Fight them as though your miserable life is on the line. Your words do wound me, sire. This knight gives every right his very, very best. Though, perhaps we do have much to learn from such a brave triumvirate as the one whom we have now faced. Whose side are you on? Get out there and vanquish them at once. Tizo notes the Pyre seem to be too busy arguing to pay any attention.
There seems to be dissension in your adversary's ranks. Tis little wonder these fool worm knights are
Deliberately trying to take Jodariel because she is worth the most points when she scores. So if we have a free shot, then we might as well use her. Whoa! You are so speedy!
Worm Knight somehow did it.
The Worm Knight somehow did it.
All of the Pyre hearts gone.
Take that.
Rookie doused the adversary's flames.
Okay. It's a little close. Gotta be careful here. Alright, we don't have Rookie, which is also a risk. Oh, you have it. I did not even realize you had it. Wow, my bad. I should have stayed close to our spot. No! Gotcha. That was close. Oh, and that was not what I ought to have done.
Au revoir now, Superiors.
Haha!
Exactly by the book.
I think that was probably our best passing sequence that we've had thus far.
Now end the ceremony. Engulfed within the aura.
Oh, I meant to pass it. There we go. I think that's it. That was interesting.
Night wings prevail.
Tricky. Somewhat like when we fought the Curs, or had the right against the Curs, where as soon as they got the orb, they were very quick and elusive. Squia! Tizo is very pleased to have prevailed against the Worm Knights of the Pyre Hearts. Those worms were quick, all right, but Rookie Greentail's quicker. He is. I expected more from the Worm Knights of the Sea Dominion. This knight commends you, noble Nightwings. Gloriously fought indeed. And this knight shall wistfully remember this defeat until the end of his days. Silence, Gilman! This is all your fault. And now, cavorting with our enemies? How dare you? This knight was but attempting honorary compliments, sire. Is it not in accordance with the rights to praise one's adversary on a worthy outcome? Worthy? This knight will show you worthy. You miserable little minnow. You are a failure, Gilman. Get now from this knight's sight.
What stirs now in the hearts of all these exiles?
Alright, lots from Jodariel. Lots of experience, and it looks like that was enough to level her up. Focus, training, prowess, the path toward survival on the blood border. Oh, this is Jodariel saying this. I didn't do it in Jodariel's voice. Oops. These rights make similar demands of us. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we can, in fact, cross over from the right side and the left side. We don't have to commit to just one of them. That is very important to know. However, I believe we will only have, at maximum, 5 levels to gain with these characters, in which case or I guess we'll reach rank 5 and have 4 levels of skill points to spend. So that means either using all of these or skipping one and having enough left to do the first one on the other side. So let's see, we did, after banishing an adversary, Jodariel instantly recovers her stamina. I honestly didn't even remember that we had that. Jodariel permanently gains +4 presence, raising the size of her aura. Decent, but I mean, generally I'm not a huge fan of presence and aura, but Jodariel, that is her specialty. So that might be helpful for her specifically. Or at the start of the right, Jodariel's Pyre automatically gains +5 life. I mean, that is a lot. Otherwise, if we go down here, any adversaries banished by Jodariel take 30% longer than usual to return. Here we have, after using Rush to lunge forward, Jodariel can rush again right away. Oh, that is really good. I like all of these, I think. I do like this. I mean, normally I would say maybe skip this one. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, we take this, this, and this. But as I was saying, getting the presence on Jodariel, I think, is significant. But it is just 4 out of 23. Decisions? Yeah, sure. Let's go that route. Could have gone either way, I suppose. Hey, Tizo with inspiration, still not enough. Alright, just Jodariel.
Until the stars align.
Each exile can have a talisman equipped. These can grant significant advantages in the right, especially something. After triumphing over the Pyre Hearts in a pitched battle, you at last return to the wagon with your companions. There's little discussion of the Pyre Hearts, who seem to have already swam off toward wherever the next stars directed them. Instead, your fellow exile's attention turns toward your companion, who is absent for the rite. How's Hedwyn doing? How is Hedwyn? The lone minstrel makes a sound, but no words form as yet. Something is troubling him. I urged him to remain bedridden. And he simply would not listen. I am very sorry, but... Wait, what? Everyone stares at the lone minstrel in stunned silence. Lone minstrel breathes a heavy sigh. But then... Hey, what's with the long faces, everyone? Minstrel? I should wring that neck of yours. As I was attempting to explain, Edwin is already up and about, despite my having strongly recommended further rest. Those that are unaccustomed to sea voyage and take ill, they are very likely to experience further symptoms if they do not remain bedridden, or at least sedentary. Edwin is running a considerable risk of having to spend another night in great discomfort. What are you, a doctor? Nay, although I traveled once with one, extensively. Look, I appreciate your caution and concern, Tariq, but I'm pretty well accustomed to discomfort here, and I had to see how things turned out tonight. I haven't had to stay out of a rite like that before. Well, sort of. So, are you back among the living then, Edwin? I was just seasick. Nevertheless, your full recovery requires rest. I think we all could use some rest after tonight. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for your concern. I'm sorry that I worried you, caused you further burden. He turns to you. My friend, what do you say we figure out where to go next? I'm beginning to miss being on solid ground. You follow him outside, where the night sky awaits. Hey, I wanted to thank you for conducting the rite back there without me being there. I could rest easy, knowing you and the others would get through it. Anyway, I'll leave you to your reading. Can't begin to imagine where we'll be off to next. We're well past anywhere in the downside I've ever been. Even Jody hasn't been this far. He bids you a good evening, and as you turn your attention back to the sky, the stars shine down upon you, and we can seek again our destination. This is where we are. Oh, we're going further north. Trista, the Silver Star. The Silver Star burns bright over the fissured lands of Black Basin. Oh. I don't know if that was a horse? A horse-ish character? Still further north, then. Not simply north. This shall prove difficult. What's the problem? Our destination is beyond the Deathless Tempest. A vessel such as ours has little hope of reversing it intact. That doesn't sound so pleasant. The Deathless Tempest is a tempest raging in the Sea of Solace seemingly for all eternity. The storm that arose after the death of the Sea Titan, Unfathomed Plurnius, never has eternity subsided. Can't we go around it? Given our confrontation with the Pyre Hearts, our chances back in worm-held waters would be even worse. Come on, people! It'll be just another day in the downside. Go get yourself some sleep while we can. Bet you'll feel better in the morning. Your optimism is infectious. Dario. Optimistic? Isn't it? You all concur that rest is in order, for the sea journey has been taxing to everyone. Come daybreak, you shall have to find a way to sail past the Deathless Tempest. Alright, and with that being said, this is a good place to wrap up for now. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.